Greetings witches, wizards, and magicians. I'm Magic Maestro, and in this video, I'll be breaking down part 2 of the second gameplay showcase for Hogwarts Legacy. We'll be looking closely at game mechanics, and talk about how it relates to the wizarding world when relevant. Today we're visiting the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and at the end I'll go over every spell we can account for in the game so far. If you haven't seen my breakdown of part 1, there's a link to it in this video at the top. The Hogwarts Express leaves at 11 AM, so let's go already. The Dark Arts Battle Arena is accessed in-game and can be found in the Dark Forest. Check out these signs. This area is considered dangerous by the Ministry of Magic. Caution, centaurs. A centaur has the appearance of a half-human, half-horse creature. I say the appearance of because we aren't actually related to them. They refuse to be classified as a being, despite their intelligence, because they didn't want to be grouped together with vampires and hags. What do they have against vampires? Centaurs are seers, and may have special insight into our character's ancient magic, if we can manage to befriend them, that is. For those of you planning on purchasing the base game, the Battle Arena can be purchased later. We have some jumping mushrooms here, ripe for the picking. Did you know mushroom caps are actually the fruit of the fungus? The body of fungi live underground in threads of crisscrossing roots called mycelia. On the mini-map, we can see the arena symbol and a web symbol, indicating that a cluster of dangerous spiders are nearby. The arena symbol is of a magician with long, draping robes. The deluxe edition includes the Thestral mount, Dark Arts clothing, Battle Arena, a fancy hat, and early access for most of you. I don't see anything written on this sign. It's either too faded or the writing is only on one side. It looks like there will be some location cards popping up in the game. As the player nears this Flue Flame location on the map, North Hogwarts region appears in the lower left corner. There's a reason you need a map in this game. These signposts are complete garbage. You can both gallop and fly on a Thestral, which seems to be the case for all flying mounts. I love the sleek, emaciated look of this Thestral. As Hagrid would say, they are very misunderstood creatures. Though they are carnivorous, they don't tend to attack humans and can be domesticated. They are protective of their owners and can learn commands. Thestrals are usually invisible to the eye unless one has seen death. That doesn't bode well for our character's parents being alive if we can see Thestrals. I almost missed this search prompt, which pops up next to these signs. There's nothing on the mini-map, so I'm intrigued by what would happen if we would stop to search. Not everything important shows up on the minimap. Alert, alert, another ancient magic symbol on the minimap. Checking out these areas will help us learn about and increase our ancient magic powers. Alan 2, game director, says that there are 2 other battle arenas in the game. Arenas offer combat challenges and clothing options as rewards. Sorry, the doors are locked. The doors can be opened for the low price of 13 galleons, 1 sickle, and 20 nuts. That's $79.99 USD for you muggles out there. Here's a closer look at the arena text. We get some juicy details here about spells. The arena will send waves of enemies to defeat. I love arenas in games, especially in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Jedi Fallen Order. The 3 unforgivable curses are Avada Kedavra, Imperio, and Crucio. Unforgivable curses are going to be super tempting to use in this game. Stay tuned for some hidden effects not discussed during the showcase. I can tell you now that unforgivable curses break through shield charms, so forget about using Protego. They also mention the blasting curse Confringo here, which is an explosive spell. It's kind of like eating Pepper X, and yes, I have done that. Before entering the arena, you can slot spells that you may not have unlocked elsewhere. In the base game, players will have to make narrative choices in order to gain access to Avada Kedavra and other curses. Here, we can see the game's spell loadout. We'll come back to this later. There's no battling on mounts in the battle arenas. Switching spell diamonds allows you to quickly access up to 16 spells. We've been granted the 3 unforgivable curses. Imperio causes enemies to do our bidding, causing them to attack each other. Many Death Eaters claim to be under the effects of the Imperious Curse when Voldemort first rose to power. It is said that the curse causes the eyes to take on a different expression. Perhaps this is what's affecting all those creatures in the trailer with red eyes. The Cruciatus Curse is the torture curse, causing extreme agony. I think that's made clear by all of the 9-inch nails poking through the hand symbol. The Killing Curse, Avada Kedavra, is represented by the skull symbol. For this curse to work, the caster has to have ill intent. Premeditation is a component of casting this spell. Wands don't kill people, wizards kill people. I just noticed this enchanted pickaxe hacking away in the background. As I said before, enemies come in waves. Health is automatically restored between waves. Also, check out the minimap loading animation in the corner. It looks like we're able to use unaided flight in the game, which is unusual because it's something from the movies which kind of breaks canon. Let's not get sucked down that flobber wormhole right now though. Alan 2 states that Avada Kedavra is essentially a one-hit KO, just like in the stories. We see the dueling feat pop up, hit a ranger with Stupefy. Stupefy is a counterattack spell, requiring players to time their dodges to cast. Remember when I said there was a hidden effect caused by the killing curse? Well, we can see it here. We see that this other opponent is cowering after seeing his friend die. One side effect of the killing curse is that it casts fear on nearby enemies, just when you thought a one-hit KO spell was powerful enough already. Here we see a dodge halo circling the character's head. If you remember from the first gameplay showcase, this signals to the player they need to block. Crucio does damage on hit, but it also does delayed damage. This enemy is hit for 41 damage and then 48 damage moments later. Pepper X has the same effect on me. I won't explain. Thanks to our ancient magical abilities, we can throw objects at enemies. I'm not sure why this requires ancient magic knowledge. Seriously, I have no idea. Confringo is an explosive spell that does 145 damage against this goblin warrior. Notice here that these goblins have the red eyes. They've either been hit with a conjunctivitis curse or are having some bad seasonal allergies. Confringo also has a knockback effect. Players still gain XP during battle arenas. I'm not sure how it compares to battling out in the wild though. Red barrels can be triggered into exploding even if they are not thrown. Ancient magic baubles fell out of this enemy and can be picked up to help charge the ancient magic meter. We can see that the Loyalist Ranger is not attacking our character because he was hit with Imperio. Here's another curse effect. Because the Ranger is cursed, he takes extra damage as indicated by the yellow damage numbers. Here we can see a prompt above this enemy's head to cast an ancient magic spell, L1 plus R1. Alan 2 says that the spell that gets cast is dependent on the enemy type. So it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to choose beforehand. We use the ancient magic meter we've built up while casting combos and picking up magic energy. This is an explosive ancient magic spell causing 1,450 damage. That's unreal. Here all the enemies seem to be cowering from our player. I totally missed that the first time I watched the showcase. I know people were asking me on Twitter, follow the Magic Maestro by the way, about how Stupefy works. It is triggered by holding down triangle during Protego. Right here we see an unblockable physical attack. This type of mechanic is common in video games so that players can't spam block all the time. The character has to roll out of the way to escape damage. Here we use ancient magic to transfigure this enemy. The Polis spell transforms people into chickens. If you eat a transfigured chicken, is it still considered cannibalism? Enemies also cast shields. We can use that color spell to break the shield. We just chugged a stone skin potion. It's actually not as hard to swallow as it sounds. Dueling feats include hitting a troll with its own boulder. I think they meant club, not sure. The effects of potions will wear off when the potion meter depletes. Red means the enemy is higher level than you and will be harder to defeat. The troll has red eyes. It's under the same spell as the goblins. Opening up the tool bag, we can see that venomous tentaculas, Chinese chomping cabbages, and mandrakes are plants we can use on the battlefield. Potions include Stone Skin, which reduces damage, Wiggenweld, which increases max health, Focus, which reduces spell cooldowns, Invisibility, and a few more that remain hidden. We know Invisibility is one of these potions because we saw one being brewed in the State of Play trailer. Recipes for potions and upgrades can be purchased or given as rewards. Over in the corner, we can see what mounts are currently in our creature case. It's not clear if we will need to upgrade the bag to hold more mounts or not. We can see info about plants, how to grow them, and generally where to get seeds. We learn of a shop location called Dogweed and Deathcap in Hogsmeade. The venomous tentacula becomes a turret and shoots acid at enemies. How acidic. The screen streaks red to show the direction the player has received damage from. Did you know enemies can cast unblockable spells too? You must roll out of the way to avoid Avada Kedavra. This makes sense because no spell can block the killing curse. I'm not sure whether it will instantly kill the player or not, which may come down to gameplay. Here, enemies can be seen fighting each other, thanks to Imperio. Oh wow, ancient magic obliterates a foe from the inside out. Here we see that some environmental damage can be done to the arena, but who's going to pick all that up? Oh yeah, I forgot, we have Reparo. An unblockable spell hits the character. Our character becomes bound and unable to cast. Players must press the on-screen prompt to break free of the bind. We learn that Avada Kedavra can kill nearby enemies that are also cursed, just when you thought a one-hit killing spell was already powerful enough. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there is a cap to how many plants can be deployed. In this case, it's 2. At the end of the battle, the player is given the choice to restart the challenge or return to the Highlands. Because there is a timer that keeps track of how long the challenge took, I think it's safe to say that there are titles to be won for completing the arena within a certain time frame. I wonder if there will be a way to increase the difficulty or modify the encounter at all. And now, for those of you who have watched to this point, I have a spell list of all the spells we currently know about in the game. I've taken the spell diamonds from the 3 different showcases to create this chart. There are still a few spells we don't know about, but here you can see what's been revealed so far. I will make a separate video breaking down all the spells, but I might wait to see if there will be a 3rd showcase first. I'm fairly confident about Expelliarmus, but we never heard the character cast it. I'm not sure about the names of the light green colored spells, but I took my best guess based on the depictions. The dark blue spells have to do with magical creatures, which will be covered in part 3 of the 2nd gameplay showcase breakdown. I have this spell list pinned on Twitter, and I will update it as new information is learned. I have one parting piece of advice for you. There are no time turners in real life, so go out there and make the best use of your day. Wizard out.